and thank you for joining us for another episode of Modern Living with Dr. Angela. I'm your host, Dr. Angela Chester. And yes, as you can hear, unfortunately, I have lost my voice, but we are determined to have an awesome show today. We are dealing with borderline personality disorder. Does someone close to you perhaps suffer from BPD? If so, you already know that BPD not only affects those with the diagnosis, but it also affects those that they love. Those with borderline personality disorder have difficulty regulating their emotions and their behaviors, which can take toll on their spouses, their family members, their friends, and their relationships. But good news, there is hope. You can't force people to go to treatment. No, you can't. But you can at least take some steps to improve and stabilize your relationship. But we have a bonus interview that we're going to get to, and that is with Mark Redmond of NutriTutor. And I'd also like to mention that we have some show sponsors, and they are Charismatic Central, as well as Roots of Health. So let's get to that bonus interview first. Like I said, this is Mark Redmond of NutriTutor. Hello, Mark. Are you there?
Yes, I am. Thank you, Dr. Angela, for having me on this morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. So, I think that bringing information to my listening base is key. We deal with mental health, but because I have a holistic practice, meaning we deal with mind, body, and spirit, I wanted to make sure that we dealt with a little bit of our body for a little while. So tell us, what is NutriTutor all about?
Great. Thank you, Dr. Angela. NutriTutor is a one-of-a-kind resource that helps people that struggle with diabetes. Today, there's actually almost 25 million people in the U.S. with prediabetes or diabetes. So we have a very unique diabetes self-management tool that helps people struggling with those challenges. It's an online tutorial, an online membership program. So like you had mentioned before, we help in the education side, empower, and encourage help for family members or people they know with diabetes.
Okay, now this would include, now I'm not a diabetic specialist or anything like that, so maybe that, is there more than just the two? I know there's a type 2 diabetes, but are there other ones? Does it matter if you're borderline or if you have to take insulin shots? Does this target any and everyone or just a specific type of diabetes?
Sure. Actually, our product was developed for type 2 diabetes specializing, but a lot of times juvenile, which would be youth, could have prediabetes as well as people that don't really know they have diabetes yet. So we offer the tutorial to really help target the type 2 diabetes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, with the tutorials, is it something that let me kind of give an example. When I found out that I had breast cancer, I wanted to become a sponge on all things breast cancer. Would this be the first place to go if you find out that you're diabetic, or is this more so you know that you have it and now you're seeking a form of treatment?
Good question. Actually, it's both. So for those that just recently been diagnosed, what's next? We have a testing process and survey so they can see, key issues that they're dealing with, or somebody that's already struggling with type 2 diabetes. This is definitely a hands-on tool. We also offer clinician assistance to help them to call in to find out, I'm having problems with my blood levels or my cholesterol, what can I do? So we offer that as well as an added benefit.
Oh, that's awesome. I know that sometimes people just don't know who to turn to when they have certain questions, or they don't want to be charged an exorbitant fee just because they want to go to their doctor or think that they need to go to their doctor when there really is something in place if they have the membership with you. Okay, that is awesome. Now, how can my listeners find you online?
Sure. Our company name is NutriTutor, and the website is the same, NutriTutor.com. And if they send us an email at the info@NutriTutor.com, we are offering some of your listeners today a free diabetes management training course. The membership itself, it's valued over $114, and we're going to offer that, as a bonus.
Wow.
And a thank you to you and your listeners. So appreciate it.
Wow, that is awesome. Listeners, please, if you do not suffer from diabetes, make sure that you pass this episode on to your friends or to your loved ones that do. Diabetes is nothing to play with. We need to be very serious about our health and making sure that we're doing all we can to make sure that we are balanced, mind, body, and soul. Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you so much, Mark, for coming on and sharing that with our listeners. We'll definitely have to do some follow-up when I have a better speaking voice so that we can carry on a longer interview with you and so that you can share some more. I think that what you're providing is awesome, and everyone needs to learn how to manage anything that they're suffering from. If you can, one more time, because I kind of coughed through it a little bit there, let them know where you located again online.
Sure. The website is NutriTutor, NutriTutor.com, or they can email us direct at info@NutriTutor.com. So thank you again, Dr. Angela. We really appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you so much. Well, listeners, we're going to take a very short break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about this borderline personality disorder. We'll be back right after this.
Attention acne sufferers. Are you sick of using your so-called best acne medication that just never works? Visit rootsofhealthonline.com and say goodbye to your acne. This amazing product works from the inside out by creating a simple deficiency that causes your acne to begin. This all-organic, 100% natural product will not only solve your acne as soon as you start using it, but it's also a beauty product as well by shrinking your pores. That's rootsofhealthonline.com. There's no creams, no scrubs, and definitely no drugs. Order today and enjoy super fast shipping. Isn't it time you say acne no more? Visit rootsofhealthonline.com and be acne free today.
Are you a Spirit-filled Christian looking for online fellowship with believers of like precious faith? Well, come and join the discussions at Charismatic Central. We were around way before MySpace and Facebook, and joining is fast, easy, and free. And we have lots of features, including discussion forums, groups, chat, photo gallery, and soon an arcade. Join us today at charismaticentral.com, a social network for Spirit-filled Christians.
And we are back. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Modern Living with Dr. Angela. I'm your host, Dr. Angela Chester. Today we are discussing borderline personality disorder, or commonly called BPD. So within the last few minutes here, I just want to give you a brief description of what that is. And we know that it is a mental disorder that is marked by emotional instability and severe distorted self-images. Now, it is very common. Unfortunately, there are more than 3 million cases in the United States of America. So we know that this is something that is not going to go away. It is not something that is just a figment of one's imagination. It is affecting all of our population. That means that if you are from the ages of 6 to 60 plus, there is a status, there is someone that has been diagnosed with it. We are thankful that there are no little people that have been diagnosed with it, anyone under 6. As far as medical journals have made note, and that is a positive thing. However, we do know that if you are between the ages of 14 and 60, that you are in the highest demographic of this being able to affect your personality and how you deal with your day-to-day. Borderline personality disorder creates a sense of worthlessness. It can impair your social relationships. If you feel that you are not worthy, that you are less than, if you feel that you are ugly, if you feel that you are just fill in the blank with a negative word, then there's a possibility that you wouldn't want to go out and socialize with others. So many times sufferers suffer somewhat not in silence, but in a sense of loneliness. They remove themselves from the general population. Treatment is available, and thank God for that, because we don't want people to have to literally suffer alone. Now, if you are experiencing borderline personality disorder, some of these symptoms may sound like you. There are mood symptoms and behavioral symptoms, and I'll mention just a few. Behavioral-wise, you're looking at social isolation. You're looking at impulsiveness, hostility, antisocial behaviors, compulsive lying, and irritability. Please pardon me. As far as mood, usually you're dealing with feelings of general disconnect, of some sadness, of loneliness, of anger, and just this inability to feel happy. If you're feeling any of those things, we want for you to give us a call. Pardon me. We want you to give us a call. If you happen to be in the Long Beach, California area, you can call us. Our number is 562-209-2083. That number again is 562-209-2083. If you would like to visit us on the web, you can go to www.newlifepastoralcounseling.com. That's newlifepastoralcounseling.com. If you can't remember that, type in New Life, Dr. Angela Chester, Long Beach, and you will definitely find me. I want to thank all of our show sponsors today, Charismatic Dental, Roots of Health, and our awesome interview with Mark Redmond of NutriTutor. Thank you so much for coming and sharing with us. We'll definitely have to invite Mark back when I am in a better voice. Thank you again, listeners, for visiting us. And thank you for always tuning in to Modern Living with Dr. Angela for your mental health information from the Christian perspective. As always, may the Lord continue to bless you. Have a wonderful week. And until next Tuesday, have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.